If I had to start investing completely from scratch in 2026, no portfolio, no accounts, no idea where to begin, here is exactly what I would do step by step. I'm Ashley, CFP and founder of the Fiscal Femme, and I've helped thousands of women all over the country make their very first investment. Now, if you're sitting there thinking investing isn't really for me, or that you need to know more before you even start, I want you to hear this. You are not alone. Most people feel exactly the same way, and honestly, so much of it just comes down to what we were or weren't taught growing up. But most people find it's so much easier than they think. I'm going to walk you through the 6 steps I'd follow in order, so let's get into it. The first thing I do might surprise you. I wouldn't open an account, and I wouldn't pick a single stock. I'd start with where the money is going. Every dollar you invest needs a destination, a job to do. So before anything else, I'd get clear on the goal for this money. Is it for retirement, a house, your kid's education? That one answer decides everything that comes next, because the goal is what tells you which type of account to open. A regular brokerage account, a retirement account, or something like a 529 for education. And if you're starting with nothing invested at all, truly from zero, you're most likely going to begin with a retirement account. For most people, that's step 1. But before you fund a single account, there's some groundwork to lay first. And skipping it is exactly where a lot of people get burned. Before I put any real money toward investing, I'd make sure my short term is covered. That means 3 things. I'd pay down my high interest debt, I'd get an emergency fund in place, and I'd fund my short-term savings goals, like the things coming up in the next year or 2. But covering your short-term does not mean you need to sit on the sidelines and wait to learn. You can still set aside a small amount, even a tiny amount, to start practicing and learning how investing actually works. That way, the day those boxes are checked, you're ready to go. You're not starting from scratch on the knowledge, and you're just ready to up the ante. And I know getting all of this in order can feel restrictive, like one big list of things you haven't done yet, but what I find is that for most people, it ends up being the opposite. It's freeing. There's this peace of mind that shows up once your money has a plan. And once that foundation is solid, the next step is all in your head. It's the thing that holds most women back the longest. Quick thing before I keep going, if you're not even sure what your first money goal is or should be, I made you a free wealth building blueprint quiz that shows you your single best next move in about 2 minutes. It's completely free and the link's right below. All right, back to it. So much of this comes down to mindset. The moment you make your first investment and realize, wait, I can actually do this, something shifts. You start to see yourself as an investor, and that shift is everything. And if no one ever taught you this growing up or in school, that's not a flaw in your own abilities. So much of our money skills come down to what someone did or didn't teach us or model for us, right? Feeling behind has nothing to do with your own worth or how good you are with money. It only means that nobody's handed you the playbook yet. Let me tell you a little secret. When I opened my very first retirement account, my 401k, I had no idea what I was doing. I literally chose every single investment option on the list because I didn't know how to choose. Was that the best move? No. But it still was so much better that I did it than not start at all. Because we don't learn about investing by reading about it forever. You learn by doing. So my rule is simple. Set a timer for your research, do the homework, then take action, even if it's not perfect. Done imperfectly beats not done at all every single time. Once your goal is clear, it's time to actually open the account. I promise this is much easier than you think. Step 1, choose where to open it. You want a major low-fee brokerage. I've linked my favorites below. Look for accounts that require no minimum to open and charge 0 commission on buying and selling stocks and ETFs. Step 2, pick your account type. For flexible general investing, that's a standard brokerage account. If this money is for retirement, you look at an IRA instead. Step 3, fill out the application. Have your social security number, a photo ID, your address, and your bank details handy. They have to verify who you are. It's the law. Step 4, fund it. You link your checking or savings account and transfer in whatever amount you're starting with. And step 5, once that money settles, usually 1 to 3 business days, you can make your first investment. That's it. 5 steps and you're officially an investor. Now you've got an account ready and waiting, so what do you actually put your money into? This is the part that slows down or stops the process, and it's so much simpler than you'd expect. Real quick, because this is right where most of us want a little hand holding. Inside the Money Club, we do this together, step by step, with me as your CFP professional and a whole community right alongside you. $39 a month, and the average member puts an additional $10,000 a year toward her goals. The link's below. Now, the question I get asked the most, once the account is funded, what do you actually buy? Okay, I have to put my CFP professional hat on for a second. I can teach you here, but I can't tell you to buy any one specific thing. Those are the rules, and honestly, it's a good thing because personal finance is personal. So let me just tell you how I invest. My approach is boring and it's simple, and it tends to beat the more complicated, time-intensive method. So it's a win-win. I invest in broadly diversified, low-fee index funds and ETFs. A really common place people start is the S&P 500, and one version of that is VOO. That's basically the 500 largest companies in the United States. Another is VTI, the total US stock market. One purchase and you're instantly spread across hundreds, even thousands of companies. No picking winners, no watching it all day. Boring on purpose. So now you know what to buy. There's just one step left, and it's the difference between those who build real wealth and those who only wish they had. The last step, and it's the most important one. Start now and start small. The single biggest mistake I see new investors making is waiting. Waiting until they have more money, waiting until they feel ready, waiting for the perfect moment. And I get it, but investing is a habit, just like saving. And if you keep waiting, it just doesn't happen. You do not need a lot to begin. With fractional shares, you can start with as little as $5. $50 or $100 a month genuinely matter over time. Let me show you why. Look at this. If you invest about $83 a month, that's $1,000 a year, and you let it grow, after 60 years, that can become $1.8 million. The same $1,000 a year just sitting in a savings account, about $118,000. The difference between investing it and saving it is roughly $1.7 million. That's compound interest doing the heavy lifting. And it's why we can't save our way to wealth, we have to invest. Now you might be thinking, but the market's near all-time highs right now. Shouldn't I wait for a dip? One of our rules at the Fiscal Femme is that we don't try to time the market. Nobody, not even the experts, knows what the markets will do next. That's exactly why we invest for the long term. When you invest over time consistently, you buy at higher prices and lower prices, and over time it evens out. What matters is time in the market, not timing the market. Over the last several decades, the market has averaged over 8% a year after inflation, and that's the whole reason why we do this. One last mindset trick my community loves: start thinking about your spending in terms of what it could become. Bring your lunch to work instead of buying it might save you $20 a week, and invested, that can turn into thousands of dollars. And to be clear, this has nothing to do with depriving yourself. You can spend more freely on what truly lights you up and get more intentional with everything else. So that's the whole path. Start with your goal, cover your short term, make your mindset shift, open the account, keep your investments simple and boring, and start now even if it's small. That's exactly how I do it from scratch in 2026. If you want your personalized next step, take the free Wealth Building Blueprint quiz link below. And if you want to do this with me and a community cheering you on, come join us inside the Money Club. You've got this. Now, if you want me to show you exactly how much you'll actually need to retire, watch this one next. And I'll see you over there.